So I'm here with my very good colleague Mandy, and Mandy has just taken part in the Gentle Life course that we ran in February, and she's very kindly offered some of her time to provide some information that might be useful in terms of feeding back on the course. So hi and thank you, Mandy.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh no, thank you. It's really nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
So Mandy, I'd just love to know what you were feeling before the course started and what attracted you to the idea of gentle living.
I think for me there were three sort of issues, which were: how do I work as a mum? Can you edit this? Because the hamster's going.
It's fine. Really, you can't hear anything.
You can't hear it. It's this hamster on a wheel. Sorry, Emily, should we start again?
No, go ahead. You start from whenever you want to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there were three things I think that drew me to want to do your course, which I saw by fluke on Facebook and thought, oh my goodness, I have to do this. And that was trying to manage work, trying to manage being a mum, and then trying to manage the house and the rest of life. And then where was me? And I was at the bottom of that big list. And that was my real, oh my goodness, I saw a Gentle Life and I thought, I so have to do this, because there is no room in my life to be gentle for me.
So that's really interesting, because you were attracted to the idea of it and knew that you had lots of stuff going on, but it was probably too important not to. Is that right?
Not to do all of the things,
not to focus on you, and not to potentially do something like a course that would help you to find you again.
Yeah, I think I've done quite a few sort of retreats and stuff. What I really liked about your course was there was something that I could action each week. That, you know, retreats are wonderful, but you go on the retreat and then you're back to your life, and some of the problems that you lost on the retreat were still there. And what really drew me to your course was there was a planned action each week for me to put in place things that actually existed in my present life, in my here and now, rather than in a state of going away, leaving it behind and feeling better for that, but then you come back in the same old, you know. The problems are still there, in the sense of you haven't got that balance right. Yeah.
And did you find that when you were on the course, those kind of the focus for each week and the shifts that you had were useful? Tell us a bit about that.
I think to start off with, you embrace the course, you're sitting there reading through all the stuff and you're answering all the questions, and then slowly it begins to dawn on you, oh wow, I don't do very much for me at all. Or I always think, oh, I'll just hang the washing out. I could have a cup of tea and sit in the sun, or I could hang the washing out and then I could do this, and I could empty the dishwasher, and then I could answer that email. And yeah, and it slowly, what I loved about it was it slowly began to seep in, like pennies dropping all the time, and for me to see that there was a way I could value myself. And reflecting to you really helped, because I could see myself and I could see what the problems were. And the biggest problem for me was feeling I wasn't worth it.
And yet you took the step to invest in yourself and say, I am going to do this.
I'm going to do this. Because actually what's happened, which I'm probably jumping ahead of one of your questions, but what's happened is I've started valuing myself more, and the whole dynamic of the family's changed. So I'm married with one son who's 9. Suddenly I start to say, no, actually, Mum is going to sit here with a cup of tea and a book for a while, or you guys could do this. And suddenly I'm starting to say, would it be okay if you did this for me? And they go, sure, fine. Why didn't I do that before? You know, I think we get hamster on a wheel. We think that we have to do it all. And actually, sometimes we are better at it. And that's no disrespect to the men in our lives, but that's because it's become our job. So we are better because we know the routine. So it's not like they can't do it, it's just that we've got it all in our head to do all these things. But actually handing some of that over has liberated the whole family, you know.
So relinquishing some control is actually freeing you up to do some other things that you wanted to, and freeing up headspace.
Freeing up headspace. And actually, I know this is going to sound dramatically nuts, but one day we were really busy and it was me and my son, and he hasn't been shopping on his own yet. And I said to him, Mummy hasn't got time to do these things. Will you go shopping for me? I need you to get salad. I need you to get this. Here's the money. Go to the co-op. And do you know, that little boy came back beaming because I'd given him some responsibility and he felt really grown up. I thought, why didn't I do that before? Because before I would have run in, stressed Mummy, running around the co-op with me. That's what it's done, Emily. It's enabled all the family to value being gentle. It's a word we now use in the family. It's sometimes I say, I've got to be gentle to myself tonight. I'm feeling tired. It's just become part of our language.
Oh, that's really touching, actually.
It has.
I wonder, is there anything that you would say, you know, sometimes one of the objections that might come up with this kind of work is that it's selfish, or, well, I can't do that because there's so many other things going on. I wonder what your response to that might be. And by the way, those are objections that we have even when we're, say, on the course, right? It's not just they're objections.
I remember the last meeting we all had as a group, and I can't remember who it was that said, I've got a new mantra, and the mantra was, it's okay to put me first. And suddenly to realise that actually isn't selfish. What that is enabling us to recharge. That I'm a better person if I'm gentler with myself for me, but I'm also a better person from everybody else. It's actually made life easier for all of us.
Oh my goodness. And I know that we've had a conversation since the course ended, and you've actually, if you don't mind sharing, it was so interesting because I know that this was quite not a surprise for you, but this wasn't necessarily an intention, but it seems like there's some interesting things that have happened since the course.
Yes, so I feel more empowered to find a path with my business, which I think I hadn't stepped into that. And now I feel I can step into it. And part of that, I think, is because I know there's space in my life to step into it. And also, I'm being really strict with myself. So I'm still having my Mandy Monday as much as I can. I'm still tap dancing, rubbish though I am. And I do get cross with myself if I think, oh, I'm just going to sneak that email in. And now I'm really strict. I think only if it is absolutely essential does Monday get taken up. Right. Monday is still my day to recharge, to stop. And yes, I hang out the washing and potter in the house and the garden. That's okay, that's allowed. But I do go out and I do my tap, and I try not to work.
Wow. And then as a result of that, the work that you're doing feels not easier, but you can focus on it when you're working, right?
Yeah, and I'm exploring that now. How do you make work gentle? How do you have those moments? And I was thinking back to when we, used to study. You'd do 20 minutes, really intense work, wouldn't you? And then everybody would say, revise for 20 minutes and then go run around the block or something. And I'm thinking, actually, that was really good. Brené Brown has said something about, as women, we need to change the voice from, I've worked so hard, I've done this all day, I haven't stopped, to the voice being, I did 2 hours of really good work, and then I sat in a deck chair with a cup of tea.
Because that's the outcome of what busy should be. And busy can mean intensive small periods of work that you then reward yourself with, right?
Yeah.
And I suppose that's come from that whole idea of, well, we have to work a 40-hour week and we have to be 9 to 5 and we must fill all those hours. And if we work for ourselves, we must be being seen to be busy. Otherwise, we're not successful.
Mm-hmm.
But changing that conversation feels so important.
Yeah. And I don't know whether you feel this, but with our modern lives and on social media and working on computers, you never finish work.
Yeah.
You never ever finish work. You're always, unless you choose to stop, there will always be an email on your phone. So then it's making that stop. And that's the other big thing. I've come off a lot of social media, and I also turn my phone off. It goes on do not disturb at 8 o'clock in the evening.
Wow.
And I actually, last night was hilarious, was watching my husband on the phone, and I was thinking, God, what's he like?
That's the thing.
My halo.
If you have some kind of transformation, it's like, oh, I can't believe no one else has had this.
No, I know. I'm so gentle.
Oh, that's so amazing to hear, Mandy. Do you know what? I'd love to just know what you would say to someone if you thought they might be interested in the course and they wanted to come on it. What would you tell them? If you had
I'd say go for it, because we're worth it. Every single person is worth finding. It sounds a cliche, doesn't it, finding yourself? But actually, I don't think it's finding yourself. I think it's finding the worth in yourself. Finding that you are worth having a break. You are worth taking some time out. You are worth spending some of your day doing the things you love.
Oh.
You're worth those things. And otherwise, what's the point? You know?
I agree with you. Why not? Why not have fun with it all?
Yeah. Why don't we start treating life more as a party?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? Thank you so much, Mandy.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate you taking the time to be able to share your wisdom with the people that I would love to share this with.
Oh, and thank you, Emily. Thank you for the changes you've helped us make. I'm really, really grateful.
Thank you. I'm grateful to have you have part of it, and also as part of the alumni, which is now available after the course, right?
Yeah. Lovely.
I'm just going to say, I'm just going to stop the recording now.
Okay.